Our second overtime is about to get underway. Denny Hamlin will lead them to the green flag.
Bottom's coming, big bottom, that's what's coming.
And here comes Kyle Busch to the outside.
Solid on your left for your white flag, one more.
Man, Denny drove it up in there.
Right on your door, clear.
Power move by Denny Hamlin. And they come to the line. Hamlin wins by 2 car lengths.
You took that, Denny Hamlin, hell yeah! I can't believe it. Way to stay in it, guys.
Hey race fans, welcome into Studio 3. I am Alex Weaver, that's Alan Cavana, and this is the preview show. It's time for the longest race of the year, the Coca-Cola 600. I'm a Charlotte girl, born and bred. This is my home track. Can't wait for Memorial Day weekend.
And I live just down the street. Easy commute to work. That's why all the teams love this race this weekend.
Cannot wait. It also has an extra stage, and drivers and teams are going to get some extra points. Very, very important this year.
Unbelievable how important this race is to the teams, and they'll tell you that. It's the most valuable race of the season in terms of points because it pays extra stage points. It pays an extra playoff point, and teams are absolutely thinking about that. You get a guy like Kyle Larson, if he gets out there early and leads all those stages and gets all those points and all those stage wins, playoff points, that's such a huge night that they can put on that resume for that playoff push later on in the season. Teams are absolutely thinking about this. They strategize around it to be at the end of these stages and collect those points. You know, a lot of people are talking about how many points you can collect. I'm thinking about how many points you can lose. If you are a team that crashes out early or has issues, it is such a lost opportunity. That's a lot of pressure on crew chiefs and drivers early on in this race on Sunday.
Yeah, well, teams better be thinking about it because we are halfway through the regular season. Hard to believe we were already at that mark, but I look at the standings and how we shake up right now. It's the true playoff push, and there's some interesting names atop the leaderboard, but also one familiar name missing.
Yeah, Chase Elliott, that's the big factor here because you look at the top of the board, 9 different winners so far. Those are 9 different playoff spots that are already gone. Ross Chastain is on top right now. He's doing good, doesn't have that win yet, but he should be safe. At the other end, Chase Briscoe, Bubba Wallace trying to hang on with the elimination line. But as you mentioned, the Chase Elliott factor, where does he play into all this? I looked it up. Right now, he is 63 points below the elimination line. Sounds like a lot. I did the math for you. That's less than 5 points per race, though, that he has to make up. He can do that. The 9 car, Chase Elliott, he can make up 5 points on the line every single time. But as we know, what's the easiest way to get in?
Can we do it?
Yeah.
That's the siren.
That's
ringing.
the siren from down in Dawsonville. Easiest way to get in, just win, baby, right? And we know Chase Elliott can do that. He's even said he wants to get in by being a winner here this season because that proves you are a championship contender. So while that's still a factor, Chase Elliott out right now. Plenty of time, we keep saying, right? But there's only 13 more chances to get that opportunity to win. I think he can do it. He can start this weekend, but we keep waiting for that checker flag.
All right, we'll also keep an eye on the blue ovals, and one that I'm looking at in particular is RFK, obviously the 6 of Brad Keselowski. He has won this Coca-Cola 600 race before, but is this the time that the old 6 needs to show up and get a win?
It absolutely is. They need that victory. There's a difference between running top 5 and getting that victory, solidifying your playoff spot. But hey, they are running great. They are carrying the banner for Ford this year. A big surprise, I would think, for a lot of people to see Buescher and Keselowski running so well. But we think about the type of track that Charlotte Motor Speedway is. I look back to Vegas and Kansas. Brad Keselowski outside the top 15. Not great. What's given me hope is Brad Keselowski was top 5 at Darlington, ran really well, and the 600 on Sunday. It's that kind of gritty, long race that really goes to veterans and people with a lot of experience. That has Brad Keselowski written all over it, and we know how he celebrates these wins. He gets that big American flag out. It would be so appropriate for him to win.
Yeah, a great Memorial Day celebration. So 6, no pressure, but we're rooting for you. Well, the track will start differently than how it will finish. And we say that this is the true test of endurance, but it's also the true test of teams setting up these cars, making sure that they are chasing this racetrack. The sun starts, it'll be nighttime when we end.
Yeah.
So how will that factor into the team's decision?
Well, it's like 2 different races, right? Day and night. And teams are thinking about that, but they break it down. I talked to some crew chiefs, 600 miles, they like to break it down into 3 200-mile races. That's how they're thinking about it. That's how it transitions for them. And a car at the beginning, or a team who's fast at the beginning, guarantees you nothing for the end of this race. So that's why this race tends to go to the best teams, because they are thinking ahead. They are making those adjustments before you really need them, or before the weather changes, before the sun goes down, to keep up with all that speed. That's why the best teams at the beginning need to be making and thinking about those changes. A lot on the crew chiefs for this race.
Yeah, all right. Well, last year it came down to Denny Hamlin and Chris Gabehart making all the right calls, and the 11 was there at the end. He's our defending Coca-Cola 600 winner, won that crown jewel, but we all know now there's a little rivalry brewing, and Denny's a part of the Joe Gibbs racing camp.
Yeah, Hendrick came out of the gate so fast, those Chevys, but the Toyotas lately, they've been showing a lot of speed, getting those checkered flags. Denny Hamlin, he won this race last year. He could do it again, obviously, but I like the budding rivalry. Anytime you get more wins from the Toyotas and they're really butting up against those Chevys in terms of numbers, that's fun to watch, because you know they're going at each other. A lot of pride on the line to win at Charlotte. He did it last year. The 11 can do it again.
All right, let's do our NASCAR 75 flashback. And if you're a Rainbow Warrior Jeff Gordon fan, you're going to remember this one. We're throwing it back to 1994.
1994, the first one for the Rainbow Warrior. And if you look back, I mean, it was one of the most memorable for him, because everybody knew Jeff Gordon was good back then, but they were still waiting on that first victory. So with the laps winding down in the Coke 600, crew chief Ray Everham did something a bit revolutionary back then. He took 2 tires when everybody else took 4. Gordon inherits the lead late in the race and drives onto victory lane. You all remember the video, crying, tears, yeah, all that stuff. But hey, it was the first one. It was the first of 93 victories in a Hall of Fame, Mount Rushmore career. A memorable one, though, came right in Charlotte.
Alan remembers it. Rusty Wallace.
My guy finished second. Ray, Jeff, why you do it to me? Come on.
All right, well, the only position we all know that matters is first. And we'll see who wins the Coca-Cola 600. Charlotte Motor Speedway. Make sure you tune in if you are not there, 6 p.m. Eastern on Fox.
Yeah, it's going to be a great weekend. And make sure you join us right back here on the preview show. She's Alex, I'm Alan. We will see you then.